We now begin with our Speed News Bulletin. You're watching WION World is One. Let's get started. Australian police says the two suspected gunmen behind the Bondi beach shooting are father and son. Reports say they had told their family they were going for a fishing trip. Officers confirmed they are confident no one else was involved and that there is no search for a third suspect. The attack, which killed at least 16 people, including a child, has been described as an anti-Semitic terrorist assault at a Jewish festival. Local media identified one of the suspects as Naveed Akram from Sydney's Bondi suburb. Police have since raided two properties linked to the suspects. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has condemned the Bondi attack as an act of pure evil. He laid flowers at the entrance of the Bondi pavilion on the beach, paying tribute to the victims. Albanese said the nation is mourning the dead, with flags flown at half-mast across the country as a mark of respect and solidarity with those affected by the tragedy.
¿Qué pasó?
The deadly terror attack in Sydney has sparked an outrage in Israel. Leaders across political lines, including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, President Isaac Herzog, and opposition leader Naftali Bennett, are condemning the attack and criticizing the Australian government's response. Netanyahu called anti-Semitism a cancer, accusing Australian leaders of failing to act and allowing it to spread. He urged the Prime Minister to replace weakness with action in combating anti-Semitism. King Charles, the head of the Commonwealth of 56 countries, including Australia, said he was appalled by the dreadful anti-Semitic terrorist attack. UK Prime Minister Keir Stammer called the violence deeply distressing. In London, people held a vigil outside the Australian High Commission. There were prayers and a lighting of the menorah, while the Metropolitan Police increased security around Hanukkah events. A giant menorah was lit at Berlin's Brandenburg Gate as Rabbi Yehuda Teichtal and the German president led a Hanukkah ceremony marked by heightened security and strong messages of resilience. The celebration came hours after a deadly anti-Semitic attack on a Jewish holiday gathering in Sydney. Speaking at the event, Rabbi Yehuda Teichtal said violence would not intimidate the Jewish community, stressing that light and love remain the answer to hatred. The ceremony drew large crowds and focused on unity and defiance. US authorities have detained a person of interest following a mass shooting at Brown University. The attack on Saturday afternoon left at least 2 people dead and 9 others wounded after a gunman opened fire inside a building where exams were underway. All 11 victims were students. One remains in critical condition while others are stable. Investigations are ongoing into how the shooter accessed the campus. In a major shift, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has offered to drop Ukraine's NATO membership aspirations following 5 hours of peace talks with US President Donald Trump's team in Berlin. The first round of negotiations wrapped up on Sunday, with talks set to continue today. Trump's envoy, Steve Witkoff, reported progress, though details were not fully disclosed. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz hosted the talks, while French President Emmanuel Macron emphasized a united goal for peace, pledging France's support to Ukraine for a lasting, secure future. Syria has arrested 5 people suspected of links to the deadly shooting of US and Syrian troops in Palmyra. The attack, which killed 2 US Army soldiers and a civilian interpreter, targeted a convoy of American and Syrian forces. Syrian authorities described the attacker as a member of the security forces with possible Islamic State ties. The operation followed a significant security crackdown in response to the attack just a month after Syria's political cooperation agreement with the US-led coalition against ISIS. Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammad Shia al-Sudani met with US Chargé d'Affaires Joshua Harris in Baghdad. They discussed the strengthening of bilateral relations and the latest regional developments. A statement from the PM's office highlighted the importance of continued coordination to tackle regional challenges, ensuring greater stability and security. Harris also congratulated Iraq on the successful completion of the United Nations mission, marking a new phase for Iraq focused on stability, prosperity, and development. Far-right candidate Jose Antonio Cast has won a landslide victory in Chile's presidential runoff, marking the sharpest rightward shift since the end of dictatorship in 1990. Cast secured 58.3% of the vote, defeating leftist candidate Janet Jara, who earned 41.7%. During his campaign, Cast promised to crack down on illegal immigration, close the northern border, and tackle violent crime. In his victory speech, he pledged to restore respect for the law. Cast will take office on March 11, 2026, and will be the first president since 1990 to openly support the military regime. Dozens of Burundian nationals stranded in the eastern Congolese town of Uvira have begun crossing back into Burundi after authorities temporarily reopened the border. The move follows days of uncertainty after M23 rebels seized Uvira, a key commercial hub near Lake Tanganyika. The border reopening comes as M23 appointed authorities say they are arranging the return of foreign nationals amid fears the conflict could further disrupt cross-border movement and trade. At least 16 people were killed after a bus carrying school children plunged into a ravine in northwestern Colombia. The students were traveling from the Caribbean region to Medellin on a field trip when the crash occurred in Antioquia department. Local officials said more than 20 others were injured, prompting authorities to activate the region's hospital network. Media reports said the bus was carrying 45 people, including 11th grade students from a school in the city of Bello. The accident happened early Sunday morning on a rural highway where the bus reportedly fell around 80 meters into a ravine. The cause of the crash is under investigation. Guatemalan President Bernardo Arevalo declared a state of emergency in 2 western municipalities following deadly attacks by armed gangs. This comes after criminal groups targeted a military post and police station, cut off roads and hijacked buses, killing at least 5 people. Arevalo said the gangs are trying to force security forces to withdraw and take control of the region. The state of emergency, the first under his government, will last for 15 days with additional security reinforcements to be deployed. Around 100 farmers have blocked a roundabout in Tarascon-sur-Ariège in southwestern France, disrupting traffic on the N20 motorway leading to Andorra. The protest targets government measures to slaughter all animals on farms affected by lumpy skin disease. Demonstrators say the policy is excessive and threatens their livelihoods, calling for alternative health measures and better support. Tractors and farm equipment were used to slow traffic as the protest continued, with authorities monitoring the situation. Protesters gathered in Sao Paulo to oppose efforts by Brazil's Congress to reduce the prison sentence of former President Jair Bolsonaro. The bill, approved by the Conservative Majority Congress on December 10th, could cut Bolsonaro's 27-year sentence if passed into law, following his conviction for involvement in a failed coup attempt. Washington has set a new Guinness World Record with 1,435 couples kissing simultaneously under mistletoe for 5 seconds, eclipsing the previous record of 480 couples set in St. Louis, Missouri in 2019. The record-breaking kiss took place beneath the national mistletoe in Washington, a 10-foot sphere of greenery, blooms, ribbons, and a jingle bell suspended 30 feet in the air. The festive spectacle brought together participants from all over the city to mark a joyful moment in the holiday season, with all safety measures in place.
That's 2.5 seconds.
In India, Indigo Airlines has advised passengers travelling through Delhi this morning that winter fog is reducing visibility around the airport, which may cause delays. While Indigo adjusts operations to the weather conditions, some flights could depart later than expected. The airline recommends allowing extra time for travel as road traffic may also be slower. Its teams are actively monitoring the situation and will keep passengers updated. The death toll from severe flooding in Bolivia's Santa Cruz region has risen to 7, with at least 20 people still missing. Hundreds of families are left homeless as heavy rains continue. President Rodrigo Paz criticized past administrations for inadequate emergency resources and warned that the combined effects of El Nino and La Nina are worsening the situation. El Nino and La Nina are opposite phases of the El Niño Southern Oscillation, a natural climate pattern in the tropical Pacific Ocean that affects weather globally. He also highlighted the role of deforestation, with Bolivia losing over 10 million hectares to wildfires in 2014, exacerbating the floods. Emergency assessments are underway as the crisis continues. Streets in the Moroccan port city of Safi are filled with mud, debris and overturned vehicles as cleanup continues following devastating flash floods. Local authorities report at least 21 people have died, with search teams still looking for additional casualties. The Moroccan Weather Service has warned of more heavy rains across the country, raising concerns about further flooding. Thick mud and thousands of wooden logs have surrounded a mosque in Indonesia's Aceh province as communities begin the daunting task of rebuilding after devastating floods. Rescue teams report that the recent floods and landslides have claimed at least 1,006 lives. Authorities, aid workers are now grappling with large-scale relief and recovery efforts across the affected areas. In the Siberian city of Tomsk, several dozen people protested against Russia's ban on US children's gaming platform Roblox. On December 3rd, Russia's communication watchdog announced that it had blocked Roblox because it was rife with inappropriate content that can negatively impact the spiritual and moral development of children. In Tomsk, several dozen people braved the snow to hold up hand-drawn placards reading "Hands off Roblox," and Roblox is the victim of digital Iron Curtain. Shenzhen Metro has launched an experimental AI-powered robotic guide dog for visually impaired passengers. The service is the first of its kind in the global rail transit industry, underscoring the role of AI in support of people with disabilities. The smart robotic guide dog, nicknamed Swan, is capable of supporting core functions such as autonomous route planning, precise navigation, intelligence, obstacle avoidance, tactile paving tracking, voice interaction, and visual recognition. According to the operator, passengers can issue voice commands and the device will guide them to designated service points. According to the 2025 State of Enterprise AI report by OpenAI, enterprise AI adoption is accelerating, with most workers reporting productivity gains. The report is based on anonymous usage data from over 1 million business customers and a survey of 9,000 workers across nearly 100 organizations. OpenAI says 75% of workers using AI at work report improved speed or quality of output, and a similar share say AI enabled them to complete tasks they could not previously do. Asian markets traded lower on Monday as new Chinese economic data highlighted slower growth in key sectors. China's property sector pressures persisted, with property investment falling 15.9% over the first 11 months of the year, as sales and new construction continued to contract sharply. The data comes as broader Asia-Pacific indices slipped. China's CSI 300, Hong Kong's Hang Seng, and Japan's Nikkei 225 are all down, led by South Korea's Kospi Index, which was weighed down by tech stocks like SK Hynix and Samsung Electronics. The market sentiment remains cautious ahead of key global central bank decisions and US economic releases. Oil prices rose on Monday, recovering part of last week's 4% drop as escalating tensions between the US and Venezuela raised concerns over potential supply disruptions. Brent crude and the US crude both climbed about 0.5%, nearly $61.5 and around $57.75 a barrel, respectively. Markets are also tracking development in Russia-Ukraine peace talks, which have swung between cautious optimism and uncertainty. Any deal could eventually bring more Russian oil back to global markets. Meanwhile, Venezuela's oil exports have fallen sharply after the US seized an oil tanker and imposed fresh sanctions on shipping linked to Caracas. Oversupply concerns persist even as US energy firms cut active oil and gas rig counts for a second time in 3 weeks.